we are heading into the health segment. And of course, you know, it's still Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we're still having conversations on breast cancer. Today we're going to be talking about breast cancer treatments, most especially on the focus of mastectomy. What is mastectomy all about? How does it work? How do the people feel? When do you even have to have mastectomy? Well, all those questions are going to be answered by Dr. Erajua Nuno, a medical officer in charge, Douala Medical Center at Burma Camp. Hi, Doc.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks, and you?
Oh, you look good in pink.
Thank
I should have worn pink too.
Yeah, you should have today. You can do it tomorrow, don't worry.
Right. Well, I've been having my pink ribbon throughout.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
okay.
yes. So, Doc, breast cancer and mastectomy. At what point does it get for someone to get a mastectomy? And before we even get into that, what is mastectomy?
Okay, so a mastectomy is the surgical removal of breast tissue when a woman is diagnosed with breast cancer. It can either be a partial mastectomy where a bit of the breast tissue is removed, or it's a total mastectomy where the entire breast has to go off. In some cases too, we even have double mastectomies where both breasts actually go off.
Okay.
Or a woman can opt to have a second breast taken off because she probably has a high risk of having breast cancer. So she had one in one breast because of her genes and all that. She chooses to have the other one taken off. That's a prophylactic mastectomy. So there are different types of mastectomies. But they all mean the same, mastectomy.
No, you call it...
prophylactic mastectomy, yes. When you decide to take one breast off, when the other one has to go off.
Yeah.
So you don't want to have breast cancer in the other breast, so you just take the two off at the same time.
Oh.
Like a prophylactic, yeah.
Wow, wow. So breast cancer actually comes in different forms, but what are the key considerations in deciding whether this patient needs mastectomy or not?
So it depends on the type of tumor the patient has, first of all, and whether it has spread or not. You know, we have stages of breast cancer. I think that was discussed last week or so. So depending on your stage of breast cancer, you may have to have the breast or a part of the breast tissue being removed where the tumor is, and then around the edges of the tumor has to come out. So it depends on the type of breast cancer you have, its spread, and then the stage. When it goes to the stage 3, stage 4, when it's gone all over the body, gone to the bones, the lungs, the liver, etc., it's a bit hard for you to do much about it. We do palliative care. But in stage 1, stage 2s, we can easily do the lumpectomy, the mastectomy.
Yeah. But can you explain the procedure that is involved in mastectomy, and also how you prepare the patients mentally and emotionally?
That's a very good question, because that's a major challenge, trying to tell a patient or a woman that the breast starts to go off. Because you know, in Africa, where we love to show our cleavages and wear our slits and look good, you know, when you tell a woman that her breast starts to go, it's very, very difficult, especially when the husband too doesn't really agree to it being removed. So I always say that when you diagnose breast cancer, it's always advisable to have the spouse or partner present throughout the entire period, so at least he understands why the breast has to be taken off. He has to know that if the breast doesn't go off, it's going to spread and even cause further complications and problems. So it's very good when you have your family, that family support or that spousal or partner support right from day one. But you do counseling before the breast is taken off. We don't just say you have to have your breast taken off and that's it. No. We counsel you. We take you to a psychologist to also counsel you as well. You have a proper in-depth counseling that's being done with you and then your partner as well, for you to know the importance of the breast being removed, so that you know that okay, it has to go. And after the cycling and all that, we let you know that okay, it's the best, it's your own best interest to have it, but we don't really push it down your throat or force it down on you that definitely it has to go off. No, we give you some time to think it through, and then you come back and say, okay, I want to have it removed. But sometimes our dilemma or challenges are that people prefer to go to prayer camps or seek herbal treatment. That's why we tell them that the breast starts to go off because they're a bit hesitant to have it removed. So the counseling is very, very important. Once you're able to psych them and actually accept exactly what they have, then they can agree to doing the mastectomy, and then we don't have any challenges with that. Right.
So before you actually started with this submission, you said sometimes the husbands do not allow.
Yeah. If I had several cases, the men would say, no, I don't want my wife's breast to be taken off.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, the men compete with the babies for the breast, so...
You know, I really don't know what to say about this, because I feel like women should have autonomy over their bodies, but for their husbands to make decisions for them, it's sort of a bit complicated because these are issues this is an issue of life and death.
Exactly.
So I don't understand why a husband should say, oh no.
They haven't met any stubborn man before. We meet them all the time. They'll say they don't want the breast to be taken off. They actually insist on it that their wife should still have their breast.
All right, so apart from the herbal and, you know,
prayer camps,
prayer camps that they actually, you know, use as second options, before you tell them, okay, you need a mastectomy, you are sure that that's the only thing that can save the person, right?
Yes, in addition to other treatments as well.
Yeah.
We not just do the surgical aspect, but we're focusing on the surgical aspect. But we also do radiotherapy and chemotherapy, either before or after the surgery. When your cancer is very big, we give you chemo to shrink it a bit. We call it neoadjuvant therapy, where it makes the tumor a bit smaller for us to be able to take the breast off. So that's done before the surgery is done. In other cases too, after the mastectomy has been done, then we do the chemotherapy or the radiotherapy afterwards. So it's not just one particular treatment that we do for you. There are several kinds of treatments. Just that today we're focusing on just the surgical aspects of it. Yeah.
All right. So the world has advanced right now. Medicine has been, you know, gone through processes of innovation, and right now we have reconstructive surgery. At what point do you now introduce that after the mastectomy is done? Okay,
so in some environments, they tend to do both at the same time.
Oh.
So they will take out the breast and then do the reconstructive surgery right afterwards. Either they do with the flap, so they take skin from either the buttocks or the thigh or some area and then put it there
and
they do a flap for you.
So it will still look like a breast?
It looks like a breast. Sometimes they can spare the nipple when they do the mastectomy, but if they're not able to spare the nipple, we call it the nipple sparing mastectomy. But if they're unable to do that,
nipple sparing mastectomy.
Okay. That's when
so sometimes you can actually save the
and leave the nipple on.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes they can't, so they have to take everything off, including the nipple. So that's like a total mastectomy. Yes.
Right.
So with that one, when we do create the flap for you, we can create a nipple to put there as well for you. Either that, or we do the implants, either the silicone or the saline implants, just to fill up the breast.
Yeah.
But you can either do it during the mastectomy, or you can do it post mastectomy. It's up to you. It's entirely up to the patient whether you have enough resources at that time to. Because unfortunately, reconstructive surgery is not part of the NHIS yet, as compared to the mastectomies being part of the National Health Insurance. So it doesn't cover. So if you think you don't have enough money to do it, you can just, after the mastectomy is done, you can just look for the socks and just push it in your bra just to give you that, But if you can afford it, why not? You can go for the implants or the flaps.
Wow, wow. And let's come down here to Ghana. How have women taken, you know, these issues of mastectomy? Have you seen more women accept it, or it's still how it used to be?
It's still a challenge. I'd say that because of there's more awareness now and more advocacy, it's better than before. At least now people accept what they have. Once you let them know that, okay, it has to go off, they're accepting it. But like I said, we're in Africa, where our breasts mean a lot to us as women, so it gets a bit challenging sometimes. We just hope that it gets a bit better as we do more advocacy and more breast cancer education. People get to understand that indeed there's a reason why the breasts have to go off. And then with that one, hopefully with time, people actually accept it.
Right. And
then they'll be taking off their breast once we tell them to do so, rather than seeking and help somewhere else.
But what about treatment? Like after-care treatment, how long does it even take before everything heals up?
To heal. It depends on the patient. Usually it's quite painful though. I mean, it's a major surgery, so Usually when it's a total mastectomy, if it's a partial one, the healing is a bit less. But with the total, where they take everything off, it takes a while, so at least 2 to 3 weeks.
I'm curious, when you say partial, does that mean you just take some part off?
Yes.
Like maybe if you were a D cup, now you are going to be a C cup?
Yes, so with a partial, let's say the tumor is more localized at one place. Like the lump is a place where it's obvious.
Right.
They can just take that section out and take a bit of surrounding breast tissue around it without having to take the entire breast off. But when it has spread all over the breast, that's why they have to definitely take everything off to prevent it from coming back again.
Right. So apart from the NHIS, are there other kind of like programs or supports that can help patients with payment?
I know there are a few foundations that help, that assist when you have any challenges. I think there's one Dorothy, something I've forgotten the full name. I think it's the Dorothy Foundation.
Yeah, Dorothy.
She does a lot of charity.
Yes.
And then Stephanie Benson also
I actually know
as
Dorothy.
well.
Yeah,
Okay, you know, okay.
Yeah, because I've actually sat on the table with her where she had a discussion, and it was surprising to see the amount of women who have had cancer, and some have big cancer, and some have had the mastectomy and then reconstruction.
And they're still living their lives like normal.
And they're still living their lives like normal. Yes, it was actually on her table. I found out that, oh my God, people have really had these issues. Yeah.
And they're living around us, both men and women, and people don't even know that they have it.
Right. So now talking about the men, do men also have to get mastectomy?
Yes, they have to.
But they don't have breasts.
Men have breasts.
It's flat.
That's what they think, but they have breasts.
Okay.
And you know that some men who have extra breast tissue,
yes,
they're quite fat, they're quite chubby, so you can see the breast tissue over there. So they have breasts. They think that they don't have breasts, but trust me, they have breasts. When they come with the lumps, you're able to detect that it's breast cancer. Some even have the bloody nipple discharge coming out of their nipples sometimes, and then we get to know that it's It's rare though, it's 1 in 100, that's compared to 1 in 8 in women, but they still get it.
But have you seen some here in Ghana?
Yes, we have.
It's actually quite unfortunate, but I'm sending love and healing to any individual that's going through any form of breast cancer and maybe have to go through mastectomy. Don't be scared. I think it's something that can save you. But Doc, before I let you go, any final message or advice you would like to share with any individual who is facing prospect mastectomy right now?
So I'll just say it may sound scary, it may sound intimidating, but don't be alarmed. And that's why we always preach early detection as well. Once you do your screening like you should, we can pick it up early. So we don't have to do a total mastectomy. It doesn't have to spread before we find it. So I'll just say, I'd encourage all the young women out there, and even the older ones who haven't screened their breast before, please, there's a chance that you have to just take. I think October, people do a lot of free activities. Just go and screen your breast, have them examined. If you're over 40, have your mammograms done as well. If you're under 40, they do the breast ultrasound scans. So.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much. It was really nice talking to you, Dr. Irajua Ahima Nuno, Medical Officer in Charge at Dwella Medical Center at the Bermer Camp